Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the Collect Your Life Incorporated podcast. I am your host, Janessa A. Henderson, here with a special guest. Say your name, ma'am.
I'm special?
Yes.
Okay, hi. My name is Dominique Bougard.
Yes. Okay, so Dominique, tell us about your podcast.
Okay, so I have a podcast that is called the MisAdventures of your favorite teachers. And, I like to play around with rap. And so, one of my favorite Lil Wayne quotes is, I'm your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. So,
Okay.
I just kind of took that and ran with it. So, I know that the title is long, but I decided to link it to a Facebook page that I have had for years. And it's called the MisAdventures of your favorite teacher's favorite teacher.
Right.
And it's MisAdventures because I did not go to school to become a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So it was by design, but not on my purpose to become an educator.
Right.
So everything I do, I feel like it's funny, and I feel like that people really, y'all really let me teach y'all kids. Me?
Right. But you well qualified.
I am, because I don't play about that.
Right.
I don't play about that. I did go through a master's program at Freed Harmon. Shout out to Freed.
Yes, that's where I went to.
Yes.
Freed.
Yes. Freed is preparing the people.
It's preparing us.
Okay.
Yes.
And so I had a great master's program. I am highly qualified. I passed all my tests and my certifications, and I have the degree to match it.
Right.
So try me.
Right. Please try us. Because people be trying to come for us, because we young or whatever.
Yeah.
We not qualified to teach out here. So basically, this episode, we could go into a lot of things. I guess we're just gonna go with the flow because we have a lot in common.
Mm-hmm.
As far as being teachers and not starting the profession out, that wasn't our goal when we went to college. It was not at all. And so then becoming teachers and teaching for so long and being effective, we have that in common.
Yes. The effectiveness.
Yeah.
Because it's really people out here. Now, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's some slow teachers out here.
It is.
I'm sure that you've met a couple.
And yeah.
You ain't got to call no names.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure that you've met a couple,
Mm-hmm.
as have I. And you've been teaching longer than I have.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you done ran across more than a few than I have.
Right.
But I want people to understand that the number of ineffective teachers is small.
Yeah, it is.
Compared to the number of
effective teachers.
Yes.
If you're in a building of 200 teachers, it's probably 5 ineffective teachers, I would say. 5 or 10. We'll even give them 10, if that. And then the rest is effective teachers. But people have this stigma about teachers and education these days. And I want to, my thing is, why is that? What makes y'all think that teachers out here are just getting paid to babysit?
I think this stigma has kind of been working its way up for a long time, because even I had to give way to my preconceived notions about teachers. And I know that we've all heard the quote, "Those who can't teach," which is hurtful.
It is. It is.
It's hurtful, Because, teachers literally, every career, every profession is standing on the backs of teachers.
Right.
Because in order to get that way, you first had to go to school, K through 12, in some capacity.
Right.
So it's not that I can't, it's that I was called to serve.
Yeah.
In order to be an effective teacher, I feel like you need to have a servant's heart.
Yeah, you got to. Like, because you're not going to get the appreciation from not saying that the administration wouldn't want to give it appreciation. Some do, but they can't give you the appreciation for what it is. Like, you can't go into teaching thinking you're going to get paid so much. Like, it's not.
But let's put a pin in it, though.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm going to come back to that payment.
That payment,
But, when you get in there, you're not making initially, unless you get a position up, somewhere in the district or for the state or something, you're not initially making six figures.
At all.
But you are reaching and touching as many students as you can, depending if you are teaching lower elementary or middle or high school. You can go upward from 20 to 30 children to anywhere near, about 150 children a day.
Right.
Just depending on, what capacity you teach in. And trust me, although it does not make up for the money we don't have. Right.
Because folks think we dripping in money. We gonna speak that into existence then.
Right.
Since y'all think.
Since that's what y'all think. But it does give you some sense of, gives you like a warm feeling in your chest. Because I love to see my former students, doing well. And
out in the world, thriving, being a productive citizen. Because, that's why I teach. Like, somebody asked me, why do I teach? I said, so the next generation can be productive citizens. Well, part of it was so they could be productive citizens in society, and making a positive impact on other lives, and also being able to think critically. Because some of these kids that come to me in English 11 can't think critically or for themselves.
It's lacking, and that's very crucial. Because when they get out here in this real world and they have to make these split-second decisions, how can you trust them to make a critical decision when they can't even have read this passage and they can't even tell me what they think without Googling?
Right. Without looking up the answers.
Googling it.
Right.
I love to catch kids cheating. And I know this is a little just kind of going on, but I love to catch kids
cheating. Be so exciting. But then this thing is, okay, so let's put thinking about kids cheating, y'all. So we both teach high school. Yeah. So the excuses and the ways the kids cheat is so slow. Because back when we were in school, not saying that I knew people who cheated, but I was like, they not even thinking. Right. Back when we were in school, the kids thought it through. Like, okay, I got a plan, I'm gonna do this. These kids just
copy and paste. For example, I'm a special education teacher. I'm an instructional resource teacher. So I co-teach English. Notice that I said co-teach. Okay, I like that more than math, because I can't do math. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Period.
So I co-teach English, but English is not at the front of my specialization. My specialization is in special education, and helping those children with disabilities. Right. So if I'm in an English class and I'm co-teaching English, and we're going over some work, especially something, do you remember a couple years ago when we were doing Learn Zillion? Okay, so we had, everything came with these worksheets, right? So we're going over the work that we've done, and I'm going over with the kids, and I ask you to give me an answer, and then you start rattling off this answer with all these big words that I know aren't in your vocabulary, because you can't coherently form a sentence. I let you finish. I'm gonna let you read the whole thing, and when you get done, I'm gonna say, that's crazy, because I got that same answer word for word. Now you just looking stupid. Right. Because I know you don't talk like that. You can't even write correctly. What make you think I think that's your answer? Right. You don't even know what this word means.
And you saying it.
And you're saying it. You pronounced it wrong. Right. When you said the answer. This is when I tell my kids all the time, don't even try to cheat in my class, because y'all suck at it. Yeah. You're not good at it. You're a terrible cheater. So you might as well just give me your answer. Because I promise you it'll be better than this.
Exactly. And so, like, I remember, like, even doing, like, ACT stuff with my kids, because I teach 11th and 12th grade, and so that's basically their test is ACT. So, like, even doing ACT, I had some kid, I said, this is to help you. Yeah. Because granted, and then I was like, don't you want, even if you don't want to go to college, some jobs out here now are looking at they look at your transcript. Like, they look to make sure you graduated, but they look to see what your ACT score is, because the ACT is, like, kind of equivalent to, like, if you're going to be able to be, think critically and analyze for their job, whatever job it is. And it's really rare these days to find a job without having some type of certification. So I still try to tell my kids, even if you're not going to college, because college isn't for everyone. Right. Like, the ACT is a test that will kind of help you, like, either way. If you want to go to a certificate program, you want to get a skill, whatever you need, it'll still kind of balance out. So I try to be there, but I'm like, why would you try to cheat on this? You hurting yourself. You're not hurting anyone else. And they already know in my class you're getting a straight 0. Like, you can't. Can I do it over? No.
But honestly, I blame, and some people might wince or get a little mad, but I blame the parents.
Yeah,
because you don't give the children any accountability.
Yeah,
or any responsibility. So when you try to reinforce that at school, now you're the bad guy.
Yeah, you get that backlash, because, like, I know for me, for sure, that's the backlash I've gotten, is holding students accountable for, like, different things. I used to have a college research project. I still kind of do, but it's being revamped. But, like, they would get the assignment in December, like, before we went to Christmas break, and it's not due until May.
But people, end of the year project,
and they turn in stuff on a week by week basis, like a rough draft. It's college research. They still wouldn't do it, and then I would get pushback from parents like, "Well, they didn't do this." I'm like, "Ma'am, I'm holding your child accountable, and you're enabling them, and that's what's the problem." Like, I feel like now I've had some great parents, like, really great. If parents would know that we're working with you and not against each other, like, we're not in competition. Just like in life, I'm not in competition with my sister, I'm not in competition with my brother, I'm in competition with myself.
That's right.
So, like, it's the same thing with education. Like, parents, your students, your child's teachers are not in competition to see who's best for, who's been there for the child or whatever. Because some parents think that their students or child's teacher is going to replace them. Like,
let me tell you something. Quite frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. But I had a parent like that, and I still talk to this student today. She has graduated with her associate's degree. She's in work, so graduating with her bachelor's degree now. But once I told her mother, hey, I absolutely love this student. She does great work. I wish I had 10 more of her. It was like, boom. Girl, I don't want to talk to you no more. Because she thought I was trying to take her child. Ma'am, I got 2 kids of my own. What am I going to do with yours?
I don't have time.
What am I going to do with yours? I love her, I promise you, and I want to see her do well. But I cannot replace you. You are her mother. I have known her at that point. I had only known her for the ill part of a year. You've had her your whole life. I can't take your place.
Exactly.
Y'all crazy out here.
Yeah, it's some that I just need y'all to collect y'all lives, like the podcast says, and know that your child, I keep saying students, but your child's teachers are wanting to work with you. Like, if y'all would just go hand in hand and know that it's for the betterment of the child. Like, we're all here for whoever the child is, not enabling them, not trying to coddle them. Like, when they in high school, the accountability level should all be on the child. Right. If they fail a class, it was that child, not the teacher.
Not the teacher.
It was not the teacher. Now, like we said earlier in the podcast, it's like a real small group of ineffective teachers. In those particular people, now I really feel like even in the ineffective teachers, they'll just pass the people along. because some of them do, but some don't. Some might want to fail your child. Like if you in a rare occasion that you got an ineffective teacher, then I'll give you that they just want to fail your child.
But see, that comes,
and they have consequences.
That still comes with you though, being a partner in your child's
education.
Some of you guys are absent until the last minute. Y'all don't show up till the fourth quarter with 30 seconds left on the clock. And if you had been there since day one, you would have known and you would have paid attention to
that this is an ineffective teacher. Absolutely. And that this teacher just giving my child whatever grade.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it is. It's like you gotta be a partner in it, and then you will call that teacher out, because like we have like, just like everyone else has morals and ethics, we got morals and ethics too. Absolutely. Like we have to uphold, and you cannot, like, that's a trifling teacher, but still, if you as a parent are,
parenting doing your job,
doing what you're supposed to do,
yeah,
it wouldn't be no issue, wouldn't be no problem.
It wouldn't be a single issue. It's either, let me tell you something, it's this thing, and if you teach in Memphis, it's this thing that all your kids have, and it's called PowerSchool. And you can see their grades
as soon as it's put in.
So you can see when the teacher has not updated a grade. If their grade is just sitting. And it's up to you, the parent, to monitor that for your specific child.
Exactly.
I can't monitor every child I teach.
Exactly. It's too much.
It's too much. I have 100 some odd students.
Yeah.
But you know what I can monitor? Carter and Aubriana's grades.
Yeah. And when Carrie gets to school in the fall, I'm gonna be looking at her grades. Like,
exactly.
That's all. I mean, it's gonna come to my phone. I'm gonna have Carrie was at school, or Carrie. I mean, I'll know, of course, because I'll be the one dropping out. But I'm just saying, like, it's not in it. I don't feel like, how hard is it? And it's like, for me, a lot of parents' excuses are, they don't make sense. Like, y'all, and it's not to say anything about anybody being outside and enjoying their life, but y'all be outside and be at everyone and be all in celebrities' businesses, or be on social media about this, but where are you in your child's education? Like,
ineffective.
Exactly. You're ineffective parenting. Yeah. But you try to put it on us as teachers. Like, we got to do better. We have to come together. Like, I'm not one to say that I'm perfect, because like we're not, none of us are perfect. But I am going to say I'm an effective teacher. It's in my, like, check my records. Like, now the first 2 years, we're not gonna look at those, okay? Because I was
learning. It's a learning curve.
And I was in an ineffective environment, in a place where it was no growth. But like, when you look at the last 8 years of my TVOS, you look at my scores, you look at all this stuff, I'm an effective teacher. I'm not trying to be arrogant or say anything. It's just, that's what it is. So that case in point, I'm willing to still grow. Like, we still gotta learn. Yes. We still gotta move with our students, because like this new group of students I'm gonna get in the fall are gonna be totally different. Even though some I may have taught before, but I'm teaching them for English 4.
That's right.
So it's different still, and it's different it's like all different. So like, the thing is, we have to work together. Like, just like in life, like even like in any situation, we gotta learn to work. You gotta work with others. Like, when we in a group project, and the project is your child.
Come on. Ooh,
and
love it.
And we all have a part of the project. The child has the opportunity, especially in high school now. Now I can understand elementary. Now middle, that's when you should be starting to get them that little give them a little bit. But high school, they definitely got to have that accountability. But we in a group project. That's what we're that's what we're doing. And the project is whatever student, your child, and you, all parents, or one parent, whoever, the main parent, whatever, is involved in that child's life. We're a part of your child's village.
That's right.
Because like, when I think back on teachers, I still have a teacher to this day that I talk to.
Me too.
Multiple teachers that I talk to this day. Because at first I didn't think I was going into teaching at all. Like, I was saying I would not be a teacher, but that's clearly not my purpose, and it was God's purpose for me. But it's like, the thing is, like, we're all a part of that your child's village. Whether you want us in there or not, we gonna be a part of your child's life.
Yeah.
Like, there's gonna be something that shapes your child. Like, just like you want, and hopefully, I will hope that all teachers have been a positive impact on your child, and hopefully that is. But like, we can't control that. But I know that when you're in Miss Henderson or Miss Bougard's class, it's gonna be a positive influence on your child.
Even if it's something negative, what can your child learn from that negative situation?
Right. Example, if like I'm teaching summer school, if your child decided to fail and they're in summer school, make that into, they made the choice because you didn't do the work, you didn't do the credit recovery. They give you so many opportunities within our district to recover your grade. It's like, if you're at summer school, it's like you just didn't try or didn't want to. So like, if you're at summer school and you believe that's a negative, thing for you, turn it into a positive, that you do have the opportunity to get the grade that you need.
And quit going home and telling your children that teacher just don't like you.
Yeah.
Ma'am, sir, sir, ma'am, I promise you, we have more things on our plate to worry about than just trying to get even with the child. That's not it. Why don't you, as an adult, think maybe they don't have any critical thinking skills. Yeah. Maybe they can't think rationally, because if you really think that I'm picking on your child, well, my list is 500 pages long that I'm supposed to complete before the end of the week, you really got something wrong with you. But this is the problem that I see, and you can tell me if you see. We kind of teach in two different demographics. I teach in a lower income neighborhood. Janessa teach in the neighborhood that I live in. So,
but we got some lower income.
But the whole school is not a low income school. Where I teach, we have some students there that do have some things, but for a majority, I think the highest, the medium income of the neighborhood that I teach in is $20,000.
Yeah,
that's not the medium income over here. So let's just be,
I know,
it's gonna be some differences with that. But the common denominator that I see where I teach is that there's been an inverted pyramid when it comes to the education of the child. Where it should be most of the responsibility is put on the parent, is flipped, and most of the responsibility is put on the school. I have been put in situations where I am literally caring for students. I am feeding students. I'm making sure they got rides to and fro. I've been looking for clothes for students. I done got supplies for students, collecting money for, it's all types of stuff that really goes beyond the scope and the definition of my job duties as a teacher.
Right, in my contract.
So if I'm doing all of this, what is the parent doing?
Yeah. And like, I'm not gonna say that I've had to find rides for students or money. Well, sometimes money, or even the latter, clothes too. But like, I have been in the same predicament. Like, I've been like I'm not even licensed to be a therapist, and I'm a therapist. I'm like a mediator. I'm well, maybe your mom didn't mean it like this. Like, I'm really and when I say I'm on the side of the parents, sometimes I'm like, well, maybe they didn't look at it in that perspective. I'm trying to help y'all parents out here, because y'all kids be coming to us telling all y'all business. They tell everything,
and I'm listening.
And I'm listening, and I'm like, okay, I'm trying not to, because it's so many kids. Like, we have 100 and some students each, and like, when you said that like parents really think that we pick on their kids, I'm like, ma'am,
it's opposite.
Like, I had a parent thinking that, I'm like, ma'am, I wasn't even a mother at the time, but ma'am, I have my own issues at home going on. Like, that was when I was married and I was going through a lot. Like, I ain't got time. I'm trying to survive myself. What do you mean? Like, it was just so crazy for, like, I sit and say, oh, what can I do to this child today? That is not what I sit and do. But yeah, the responsibility has been flipped. Like, we have to we're expected to do so much, but when we calculate the hours, let's just calculate the hours. The child is with y'all more. It was a post that I saw. It was like the child is only with the teachers in the school like 900 and some hours, but it's with your parent like over 2,000, almost 3,000 hours. So, but the responsibility on the grades is still, or the responsibility of what your child does is still on the teacher. How sway? It don't make sense to me. And like it really baffles me like that people really think that, because it like there's so much pressure put on us as teachers, and it's like I cannot, and sometimes I feel like it's expected to me like to make the child do their work.
I can't make this.
And I'm like, if your parent can't make you do it,
why do you think that I can make you do it?
Right.
I don't understand that. So I'm responsible for the 2 children that I birthed.
Exactly.
And you know, I can encourage and I can motivate the ones that I see on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You know, I can look out for these, but
I can't make them do anything.
make them do anything. And if you can't make your child and you can't motivate your child to do better for themselves, then again, what are you doing as a parent?
Yeah. It's like, parents, what are we doing? Because we need to know. Like, we need to know. When we're both parents and we're like, okay, with our kids that we done birthed, yes, we understand. Gonna be the biggest cheerleader for mine. But I'm like, what are y'all doing? Like, we need to know this, because it's like, it's all expected. And then when we think about like the different accolades, just thinking about something, because I just thought about something. Like, when we think about the accolades that, you know, a school district or a school gets, or who did that? The teachers.
Right.
Think about that. Like, when you're thinking about, okay, yeah, this is a nice school, they got these scores and they got this, you need to thank those teachers. Don't thank. Now, granted, people at the central office,
they doing stuff. I don't know what they're doing.
They did, you know, they
doing stuff.
They doing stuff,
they're
but
not the ones that these scores are reflected from, because the people in the central office are not the ones that are in the classroom feeding your children this knowledge. And
and having to move an unmovable child. Like, we have kids who have not moved since like elementary school, but these teachers are out here working and moving kids in a pandemic. Yeah.
It's you know, you got to think about that in basing. Also too, you need to look at your individual child, and you need to pick a measure of success for your individual child. Do not rely on these test scores to measure your child's success, what they can and cannot do, because these tests are standardized. That means that they are all the same. And honestly, quite frankly, some people might look at me sideways, but I don't know why we take them.
I don't either.
I don't know why we take them.
Even the college entry ones that, you know, that I have to give to my students. I feel like they shouldn't be there anyway, because it doesn't deter, like, and I really got this like in one of my years of teaching, when I was just talking to a lawyer, because I was going to go to law school, and she was like, yeah, I made such and such on the LSAT, but the LSAT doesn't mean, and that's the entry level, you know, law school exam. And she was like, yeah, I made that, and I had people in my class make like, I think the highest you can make is a 180, and they made like a 179. They had a high score, and they flunked out of law school. So like, it's not an indication of if you gonna pass. And her, like, hers is on the lower thing. She felt some type of way at first, but she's like a top prosecutor, top lawyer, like now, like she passed the bar on the first try. Or people who like struggle through law school or struggle through any school or whatever. And it's like, the test, yes, it's important. I feel like in some regards it's important. Like, I need you to take a test if you're gonna be a doctor. Like, I need you to have this.
I understand. I just don't understand why why we base everything around
it's so heavy
for K through 12 education.
Yeah.
And you know, the thing is this, I don't like it, because it's reflecting. If you don't make this score on the test, that means you're a failure. And there may have been other gains in other areas in that school besides on this test. Standardized testing is scary for children of color. I don't know if anybody noticed. But it's not made based off of us. So therefore, when they take it, the results are always going to be skewed. And why? And, you know, because of this, and because it's everything is so heavily based on it. Now people are expecting you to teach towards a test. And I don't think that's fair, because now you're ill preparing students for life, because they ain't gonna never see this test or anything on it again outside the walls of their K through 12 institution.
Right. That's true. And I feel like why are we still, like, yes, the scores came back, you know, like recently I think the scores came back and people are seeing scores or whatever, but I'm like, let's look at something else. That's not the only thing we should be looking at, because like you said, like, look at the gains, because like I was even like, I think maybe in my earlier years of teaching, like a student was looking at like they were like, "Ooh, I made this," and I was like, "But no, look what you had or projected to have." Like I remember in I think it was in another district that I taught it. I think like the student was like, "Oh, I only made this," and they were kind of sad about it, and I was like, "No, you were projected well below that, but you exceeded that." Like I tried to, you had growth, and that was the key thing that you needed. And so like the kids were kind of sad about it, because I think they were honor students, but they did well above what they were projected or what it was shown to. So you have to celebrate the growth
as well. And I think that's, children are put in public schools in order to grow. And I think people get so caught up with looking at the numbers that they forget that. So how is the child growing? If you don't see any growth in that child from August to May, then of course that's an issue. But I don't know too many times where you just see nothing, unless the kid was just absolutely not trying, not doing nothing at all. If that kid has been consistently coming to school, this kid has been consistently showing up to class, consistently asking questions when they don't understand, then they're going to have some form of growth.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with that for sure. I agree.
My baby, my youngest, Ariana, she's starting kindergarten in the fall.
She's growing up on us.
She is growing up, yes. So she went to pre-K last August. And so when she went, you know, we were coming fresh, well, we're still in the pandemic. But coming straight out the pandemic, she stopped going to daycare. She had been at home. We had tried to do some educational things at home, but she just like, if she didn't want to do it, she wouldn't do it. So going in, of course, you know, she knew some numbers, she knew some letters, but she did not know how to write. Within the first month, my baby was writing her name.
Oh, look at her.
My baby was writing her numbers.
Yes.
Her vocabulary expanded. So, you know, I have the utmost respect. Shout out to Rakia Campbell at One Faith Academy.
Yes.
Okay, if you're looking for a good private preschool and a good solid Christian education, send your baby there. Okay.
Yes, come on.
I saw immediate growth. By having her in that program, and I was just so thankful for that. And I knew that I could entrust her teacher to have her kindergarten ready. So I just appreciate that. If you don't notice growth in your kids' education, you need to be trying to have some serious conversation with the teachers to see what you all can do to ensure that child is getting everything he or she needs.
Because the learning doesn't stop when they leave school. Like when you at home, like my child has some developmental delays, like I've talked about on the first episode podcast. So like she has 3 different therapists. Like they give me homework to work with Carrie to make sure that she's doing, you know, like for her speech, for occupation, for physical, like make sure she's doing all this X, Y, and Z, because she's with me the majority of the time. So I have to continue what we doing. Like when she starts pre-K, she'll start pre-K in the fall. Whatever assignment that she got to do, or whatever they need me to work on, they're going to give it to me so I can work on it. Like, you have to, that's where that partnership, like parents and teachers have to partner up.
And, you know, I got so sick of during the pandemic saying that, you know, hearing parents say they were doing teachers' jobs. Honestly, quiet as it kept, I don't know why it's kept quietly, but parents are the first teachers.
Yeah.
You are the one that is teaching your child how to navigate through life.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to learn the most things from you.
Exactly.
So why would you not help them? And I understand you may not have gone to formal school to be a teacher, and you may not understand everything that they're bringing home, but it's still your job to find out and how the best way is to assist your child. I literally have memories ingrained in my head of little Dominique and my mama sitting down with workbooks. She traumatized me a little bit because one time I did a work page wrong, and she got a red crayon and put an F on it with a sad face. And so exactly, thanks, Mom. And so, you know, that made, you know, I never wanted to bring home bad grades,
right?
Because I didn't like the way that felt. When it was probably her hormones. Now that I think about it, she was pregnant. Yeah. And, you know, it was already 3 of us, and this was baby number 4.
And she was like,
and
look.
She was tired of it, and we lived in Texas, so it was hot. So it was like all these issues, you know.
It was connected.
It was all
wasn't
connected.
You.
It wasn't me. But, you know, they kind of made me they kind of gave me a little twisted motivation to, hey, I want to do well. I don't ever want to feel like, you know, I'm failing, because I don't like the way that feels.
Right.
When did y'all stop teaching your baby at home?
I'm trying to see what happened in the generations, because, baby, my mama was... I was like nervous to bring home anything lower than a B. Like even when I brought home a B, I was like, can't have too many. Even when I was in college, like it was still got to me. Even now, like I'm in my doctoral program, I'm like, let me tell my mom I got a B in something and everything. But like that lady was hard on me. Like my dad was kind of loose. Like it was easy because I was his, you know, baby girl.
Right.
But like with my mama though, it was like, yeah, we need to do it.
And let me tell you why. Because your mama knew your full potential.
Yeah.
So I'm the oldest of 6. My mom did not hold us all to the same standard when it came to grades. Some of us, you know, some of us were straight A students. Some of us were A-B students. Some of us were C and maybe a D.
Right.
As long as you weren't bringing home any else, you know, she was cool. But that goes back to, again, knowing your child. And knowing what your child is
potentially
capable of.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to hold you. I'm going to hold each child to their own individual standard.
Yeah.
Because I can't put you all the way up here, and I know you only can achieve this much.
Right.
I'm going to encourage you, and I'm going to push you forward. But I'm not going to put you all the way up here and put you towards something that I know you'll never be able to reach.
Exactly.
So I appreciate my mama for that, because she did not treat us all as if we were one. You know, she treated us all as individuals, and she knew what each and every one of us were capable of doing and achieving academically.
Yeah, and I appreciate mine for sure, but when I was going through it was just like, woo. Like, but then it made me have the self-motivation and like believe in myself too. Like it kind of like it did build up my self-esteem as a student. Like, okay, ooh, I can do this. Oh, I did this. Like it, not just my teachers, like it was having that reassurance at home. Like, and I think I talked about it on the podcast before, but like my mom always took the teacher side. And like me being the only black in my classes or school, well, not in the school, but like in my classes was like already difficult. But like the one time she did take up for me, the teacher said I had a C. My mom was like, no, my baby would not have a C. She brought home all this. I don't see where it adds up to a C. And like my mom was an educator, so she knew this ain't adding up. You doing, it's something that's going on. So she went to the board of education because the principal backed up the teacher, and they looked at the records. They were like, that one C, because apparently she said I had an F on something. She was like, they were like, that one F still doesn't compute it to be a C in the class though. So like that, they were supposed to give me a B, and because they knew I had transferred from Macon Hall Elementary to this school and for middle school, and so they knew I came in as an honor roll student, and so I was the only black in this teacher's class. Like the next class, it was a whole group of black students, but I'm like, I guess I was in the honors class. I don't know, but apparently that was the honors class. But still, I deserved that B. So they had to come back and give me my record, my little reward or whatever it was for honor roll for that 6 weeks. But that was the one time that my mama took up for me, because any other time she was like, nope, if the teacher said it, you like. And granted, it wasn't really no reason for me to complain to my teacher, except it's like a lot of work or whatever. I didn't really have anything crazy, like no crazy stories of disrespect or anything. My teachers were doing their job, so like really it wasn't no point in me and my mama taking my side anyway. But like in our day and time, we have those parents that be like, well, let me go up to the school and see what's going on, and you haven't even come to any parent-teacher conference. We haven't seen you.
Your number is not even correct in parent school. I can't even call you, ma'am.
Right, but you call me on this random number, and it ain't even what you have listed, and you want to go down my throat from one thing, and you haven't tried to. You go from 0 to 1,000 quick, like without even investigating, without saying, like, if Carrie comes to me and says, hey mama, this teacher did this, I'm not going to jump immediately. Like, I'm going to go investigate. I'm going to have a meeting. We're going to sit down and talk and see what's going on.
Right.
Before I jump to conclusions. And that's, I think, one of the issues that's different from like our parents' generation of parents we grew up on, and the generation now. They just all of a sudden jump to conclusions without researching, without like waiting and just actually having a conversation. And you know, they just want, I want them to be changed out of the class.
No, and also let me say something else that's gonna make some parents mad. Y'all kids be lying. Like,
exactly. Okay,
y'all kids will hop out a lie in a minute
and quick, and y'all know they lie
because they lie to y'all. But as soon as they say a teacher did something to them, then you automatically believe them, which is crazy. Now, I'm not saying that it couldn't happen, but you can at least do your due diligence before you try to come to the school and try to fight me.
Right.
Like that hasn't happened. A parent has not tried to fight me.
Right.
But I'm
me
just saying,
either. But they been in their office trying to be like, she don't like my child. I think she don't like my child because he's mixed.
What?
I've had this conversation.
Are you serious?
Yes. I'm like,
ma'am, you black.
I'm black.
I had a parent tell me one time that I don't care about black students.
Wow. And you're black.
She was black too.
Ooh. I can't.
Like, she was black too.
I cannot.
Like, the crazy thing is, I did it. Like, her student was another student that literally lived in my classroom. I had that student in my personal vehicle because I was the head of I had a drama club, and I would literally tote them in my personal vehicle on Saturdays to and from speech and drama competitions.
Wow.
Feed this child snacks. Had to literally kick this child out of my room every period on the dot.
Because you was feeding them. Because they will eat you out of house and home.
No, you can't have one snack. You can't come in here and get all the snacks every class period. You can have one snack maybe a day. And if you come in here every day, I'm finna cut you out from there too. You can't have a snack every day.
Right.
But you know, I'm your child's person, but I don't care about him. Girl, get out of here.
Right.
Before I hurt your feelings.
Goodbye, ma'am.
Because let me tell you something. I may be real cute and I may be real educated, but do not play with me.
Right. It's a slight, we from Memphis.
Don't play with
me. A slight regicide.
You better leave. Please go.
It's a slight regicide. And then I had like one of my, just thinking about what you said, just my former students like that I love. It's the particular class that I love so much because they were my first juniors here at Cordova. But so they was in the trenches with me, okay? Yeah. So like, but because it's different coming from a different district to another one, to such a big district like we have, but like that, and a bigger school,
right?
So like that, but one of them tagged me in a post, and it was like a teacher. I don't think she's a teacher anymore, or like she's was like she's not going back to teaching, but like she had her feet up at the door, and she was like, the bell doesn't dismiss you. I do.
I love her. I follow her on TikTok.
I follow her too. And like I said, and like I'm looking at her videos, they were like, y'all must be twins. Like they said now they put in the videos too, they were like, they tagged me and they were like, so I found your sister. I was like, what you talking about? Like, what you mean? And they were like, I found your sister. This is your twin. Cause like, why y'all say this? Why y'all sound alike? She sounds just like you. And I think it's a Memphis thing, like, because we grew up Memphis City schools, like, and I think she went to Memphis City schools
Shout
too.
Out to Legacy MCA.
Right, because it ain't nothing like it, okay? And I think that, and just the general, like, our parents just makes us who we are, because we educated, we cute, and we certified. But we slightly a little ratchet out here because, listen, I'm a nuck if you buck, okay? If you buck, I'm nucking because nucking. I'm like, I'm not finna play with you.
Catch me on a bad day, baby, I'm already nucking
before
you even buck. So don't even come in here with it.
Exactly. But I was like, y'all over here, and then I have a smart mouth.
Absolutely.
So like my kids, when they say stuff, I have to tell them the first few weeks of school, because you just getting to know me. I'm like, look, I have a smart mouth. So if you say something crazy, just know something crazy will be said back.
Thank you.
Like, I had a student say, they were saying something about my hair. I think because I was going to get my hair done or something. They said they tried to check me on my hair, and I said, baby, your hair been in this hood and ain't been cut since last year. I don't know what you talking about. Like, I said it before I knew it, because look, you're not finna come for me. Don't come for me.
And I probably check you before you even get a chance to check me.
Exactly.
Honestly, so don't even try.
And their form of checking ain't the same.
It's not the same. Like, we would eat you, like Memphis City schools would eat you alive. I've been thinking about just like calling some of my friends up here to just check the kids. Just
and
because,
see, I thought about that too,
because it's kind of to humble them a little bit.
Yeah, y'all need to y'all too what is it? Too high
y'all
up
trying
here.
To be too cool.
Too cool. You not with us. You not. They think they can check with us.
No,
that's the thing. I think this,
because y'all would be crying. People literally fought every, like, my husband still talking about a check that somebody checked him with 20 years ago.
Wow,
it sticks. Okay, it sticks.
Wow, and those checks, they were. I'm saying, I'm like, how did they just roll off your head that quick? That's so like they're thinking critically.
Yes.
You know, that's they're thinking critically. Y'all they need to get, that's what we trying to teach y'all. Come into class so we can teach you to think critically.
That's right.
Because, so you'll know how to check properly.
You won't get rocked out here.
Right. You have anything else?
No, I think that was good.
Okay. Well, we thank you for joining us at the Collect Your Life Incorporated podcast. This is episode 6, and we'll see you later.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, we have
one more thing. If you do not mind, go ahead and follow me on Facebook at the MisAdventures of your favorite teacher's favorite teacher, as well as on Instagram. Now, hold on for this Instagram, y'all. Let me just explain real quick. So it's the acronym of the page, because Instagram would not let me have that long name.
You should think in critical skills, okay?
So it is the M.A.O.F.T. F.T.
Yes.
Okay? The MisAdventures of your favorite teacher's favorite teacher.
Yes. We will tag it in our Instagram post too. But y'all got to use your thinking critically skills. You should have them if you're listening, hopefully.
And listen to my podcast as well.
Yes.
By the same name on Spotify. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.